This is the first Sunday in Lent, and it's a period of preparation, which means now we have violet or purple. This is the colour of preparation. Ash Wednesday occurred on the Wednesday just past. Traditionally, that's a time when we burn all our crosses that we received from last year, and then on Palm Sunday we have the issuing of new crosses, but that's yet to come. So this is the first Sunday in Lent and a time of preparation. What does that mean? In the collect for the first Sunday in Lent, and the intent, by the way, is self-examination. We'll come back to what we mean by the word self in a moment. O Lord, who for our solace has appointed diverse seasons unto thy church, grant us so to justly to examine ourselves, that discerning clearly our faults, we may truly amend them, and thus prepare ourselves fitly to celebrate the holy feast of Easter. In all big occasions, whatever they are, physical occasions, mental occasions, spiritual occasions, we have to prepare ourselves, unless we all operate on a very high level of awareness, which would be desirable, but we're not always in that state. So we watch television and we see the sports teams are having pre-season training, and we wonder how they can do so much work in the hot sun of summer. But unless they prepare appropriately, they can't really perform on the day. Musicians have to practice a lot. And if you ask a musician, and we've got very nice, capable musicians in this church, if you ask musicians how much practice they do when they were younger and learning, it's a great deal. A classical, professional pianist might practice 8 hours a day. Do you practice 8 hours a day? Cleaning your teeth? No, you don't. That's automatic. But in order to be at the top of their game, professional musicians practice for many hours a day. And it's the same with any professional. They take their job very seriously. So that's the activity, and that's the attitude that we accept on our daily life, our secular life, our materialistic life. What this period is reminding us for self-examination is, that's important, that physical stuff. This is even more important. And the self of the self-examination is not necessarily the Christ self, that's the inspiration inside us, but it's the other parts of our personality, emotions, intellect, our body, that we want to be in alignment with that. We want to be in the alignment with the intent of the Christ within us. That's the bit of the self we're examining. Now remember, it's very changeable. Emotions, intellect, our bodies, very changeable. We can change them if we choose. The Christ inspiration is very steady. And that's the aspiration that we have to get closer and closer to. At Easter time, we'll talk about the great mystery of Easter. It's not necessarily all the gory stuff. It's the stuff going on behind the scenes, which is the true mystery of Easter. But now, the preparation, so that on the big occasion of the performance, the professional musician, the professional pianist, steps out on that stage. They might feel a bit nervous, but they channel that nervousness into a brilliant performance, completely in their control. When we're on an alignment of the path that is just right for us, that is there for us to follow, when we finally work that out, and it changes a little bit here and there as we find out more and more about what our path is, always we have to be alert for that. But as we develop our spiritual toolkit, the spiritual toolkit gives us great resilience in times of difficulties, and the difficulties will come. We don't often have much control over that, but we must be prepared for them course, the difficulties give us grief and we feel sad, but we can be aware that things are moving, always moving. Evolution is always moving, never stopping. When something is stopped, it's no longer in the path of evolution. So Lent, violet, purple colour, the colour of preparation, we should really take advantage of this and just pause and say, okay, life's busy, life's got lots of stuff, we've got to attend to that at an appropriate level of attention, not all of our attention. But then, here comes Easter. Now Lent reminds us, really, the preparation should get more intense. 2 periods in the Christian world where there's an intense release of spiritual power and energy onto the earth. One of those is Easter, the other one is Christmas. So we should be ready. Just as the 2 opportunities in our life, the 2 opportunities for the most rapid, powerful changes, spiritual changes, are when we're born, and we often can't remember that, and the other one is when we die. And we must prepare to have the best death we can. That sound a bit strange? Sound a bit creepy? Well, these are the things we have to prepare for. How do we prepare for both of those? Well, birth is a little bit sort of automatic from our side. Our mums do all the work. But for death, it's the same as the preparation for Easter. It's the same intensity, understanding what's really under consideration. So let's take some of these on board. Let's prepare appropriately for this great release, this huge burst of spiritual power which is coming our way at Easter time. Let's take full advantage of it so we grow and we are prepared for both life shocks as well as preparing for taking the best we can and giving the best we can for our life on earth.